Hi, I'm back. Happy Thursday. I'm Rebecca Kastl. I'm the accidental mystic. I had a big spiritual awakening, spiritually transformative experience in my 20s while I was healing from trauma. Totally changed my life. And now every Thursday and Sunday, I make these videos. And today's Thursday, and I talk about things I've been thinking about on my journey and, integration, like never ending integration process. I First, I want to say thank you to all of you who've reached out again. Like, I have clients that book with me through this channel that is modest but sincere. And it means a lot when you say you look forward to this. That's why I keep doing it. So when you say I feel like a friend, thank you, or you watch every Thursday and Sunday video, that's really sweet. It means a lot. I take it seriously, and I'm very thankful to get to share what is, my personal journey, but hopefully relatable for you and what you are going through. And we're all just here helping each other. And I thought about this stuff for a long time. So this week, my topic is just centering back in the love. So my spiritual experience, it was very, very profound for me. It healed me at a very deep level. I felt completely seen, completely connected, and just so, so much love. And I try to get that across to y'all, and maybe you've had something similar. Um, and I just want to talk about how much love it felt like, and also just as I'm sharing, when kind of come out into the arena with all of this stuff, I'm constantly reminded that I need to recenter back in that love as I share. So, the love, here's what it felt like. And I would love to hear your comments or your own experiences. What kind of love did you feel? Have you felt that kind of love? The very first night when I saw that light and it told me not to be afraid, um, it was like something started to shift in me. Um, I just remember wanting to go. I really, at the time, at the very beginning, I wanted to go live in the woods. I didn't really want to be doing any of the stuff I was doing in my life. I didn't really want to be in grad school anymore. I wanted to just go feel whatever that feeling was, which just felt like being totally seen, totally loved, totally cared for, and like clicked into place. Like your heart just gets like, "Vroom, okay, here, like, oh, this was what I was missing. It was like my soul connection to love. So that just felt very, very profound, and then it just kept getting stronger in a way for those, like, year and a half, 2 years. I think it was about 2 years. I wish I would have kept really detailed notes. I have a few journal entries. I've shared them sometimes on my Instagram. But other than that, it was just, like, all very deep and internal, but it was things like, um, just, r realizing how much love there was for me, for everyone, but I just felt it so personally, and it felt like, um, being completely seen and loved. And I'm not gonna talk today about I don't know why that happened to me. I did make that promise in my journal, I don't know. We can go into that another day, but, I hope it will happen to you too. It just felt like a whole lot of love. It felt like feeling, totally correct. And I had never really felt that way. Maybe when I was a kid, like, I think sometimes when we're kids, we feel like life is beautiful and we feel good, but from 13 on, I felt very wrong and wounded and depressed and traumatized. So this was like just realigning me back with my soul. And the love felt like the next biggest part, aside from like feeling how much my actions affected other people or my words, that was a big one with that little spontaneous like glimpse into a life review. The angels next to me, it just felt just really nice. And like I mattered. Um, we all matter. You matter. But also at the end, honestly, that dream with the angel, that felt very, very, very loving. It felt like for the 2 years, like, I saw that light, and then I had all this, like, kind of realignment happening, like, I had to clean out I had to see how I was affecting other people. I had to get more into alignment with my soul in different ways, like, you know trusting my guidance that I wasn't supposed to write about other things. I'm supposed to do this. That took me forever to realize. um, cleaning out, like, any emotions, those came out, so the light was so bright, the love was so real that any shadow emotions were coming out, so any extra traumatized emotions, which you'd think I would have dealt with them. I was spending, like, years already at that point, like, in therapy and, like, energy healing and all these other things, and then it was like, actually, you still have more because this light is even brighter than what you were doing," and it was like any rage, any anger, all of that was coming out, um, and I had to heal it because the love was so strong, um, so that was coming out and then basically cleaning out. It was like going to the dentist for the first time almost. I don't know. And they're like, you got a lot of plaque. That's how to, when I think about it, I know that's like not the cutest. It's kind of a gross analogy, but sorry to my dentist friend, sorry. um, but, yeah, so that happened. But then at the very end with the angel, the love just felt like it went all the way into my heart. Like I'd been cleaned out enough that it was just like all this light just flowing into me and just me being like, it just felt like it caught my breath. Um, and then and it just felt like as that angel was talking to me saying, "Life is amazing. Go have adventures. Go live a good life." Like it just flowed and flowed into me. And it felt very healing. It felt very healing and it felt very I don't know. It's really hard to say how much love it felt like, but it felt like the most love and just so beautiful. So I've talked before, and anyone who's had any kind of spiritual experience, you know that longing that exists forever after something like this. At the beginning of my experience, I wanted to go live in the woods, and when it ended, I was like, why am I here? Like, I just didn't understand it. Uh, so a lot of my journey has been, yeah, you guys know, I denied it, and then I've spent time reconnecting. So now I'm like, and now I'm sharing about it, which is extremely vulnerable and very personal, but it's, I think what I'm being called to do so you guys can have this happen to you too. I have to recenter in that love. Every time I tell my story or anytime I am doing this, it's like, I'm only doing this because it felt like a lot of love. And, I want you to feel that. Uh, And it's hard kind of hard to stay on the planet, but it feels better when we connect with each other, and I can tell you what it feels like, and you can tell me what your experiences have felt like, and then we all feel like we can create that loving space here. I think the reason why it feels so hard is that our planet just felt so far from that love in a lot of ways. But it doesn't have to be. We can just center in the love in our hearts, in the Creator, and just live from that place. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm thinking about is like how I recenter in that love when I tell my story because I am coming out into a human world to tell it. And my experience was very beyond the human world. And I think talking about these kind of experiences can be triggering for people, apparently. I'm learning. I got a really mean email this week from someone who said I was making up my story and I'm not a mystic. Like, believe me, I wish I were making up my story. Like, I tried to tell myself I was making it up. Sadly, not sadly. I'm really thankful this happened to me, but I just think I don't know why it's hard for people to think about these kind of experiences. Thankfully, every other email, every other person is very, very nice, but I'm like, I'm just looking at the places, again, people live in with these kind of stories, and it kind of makes me sad. It makes me, but then I'm like, oh, wait, I'm just talking about the love I felt. So I'm going to continue to do talk about what I experienced. And I think people will have different reactions. Obviously, most of you all are really awesome. And I just hope it helps you try to experience that love for yourself. But I know when I was unhealed and before I was really getting to the place I'm at now, it's very easy to project onto other people. I definitely projected on other people. I'm probably still do, but I used to do it much worse. And you don't even know that you're living out your own nightmare. So maybe I'm like making people hopefully, if you're living in a nightmare, hopefully you can like wake up a little bit. And if my story is like triggering you, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what besides talking about how much love I felt. Um, I don't know. And then it makes me kind of sad that people live in that kind of nightmare space. But I did too. Um, I didn't lash out quite as much. I don't lash out to other people. I mostly lashed out to myself, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm just talking about I just wanted to talk this week about like feeling the love, how much beautiful beauty it feels like and you know, it can feel very distant from the world we live in, and I would love for it to just that distance to get a little less so we can just kind of like, oh, center in the love in our hearts, share it easy. And I feel that, when I take time to really center in um that love, then it's easier for me to like that email I got this past weekend. I was having a great time with my friends in New Orleans and my family and my daughter, and I'm walking around the corner, we're getting beignets, and I look open my email, I'm like, oh, wow. But it just is like, oh, you're really in a sad spot. Like, and that made me, I have to witness that for people. And I've been witnessing these kind of reactions since I started talking. Um, it is very far from the love I felt. And hopefully, maybe, I have read all attack as a cry for help. And so maybe if they're like throwing that at me, they're looking for healing. And if I don't react and I just love them, I ended up just sending love. I didn't even write back. Um, Maybe it will help them heal. Because of course, there's that snarky 13-year-old who was really traumatized. They wants to lash back out. But I just can't do that. I'm just like, wow, sending love to the space you're in. So that's this week. There's more to be said about like not taking things personally. That's a huge journey of mine. I can make a whole different topic on that because this is already at 12 minutes, but maybe if y'all are interested in that, how I've been working on not taking things personally, I can do a whole video on that if you want. Let me know. And thanks again for being here. Thanks again for trusting me. I love getting to do this. It helps me. It helps you. It helps all of us. And you can book with me if you want at the link below. This month I'm giving like 5% of everything I make to the food pantry here, one of them in Colorado. Um, so, and lastly, I will say I'm probably going to take down my angel message. Not really from this past Sunday because I was like, I'm only doing this for service. It is an angle from below with no good lighting. And I was tired because I'd been in New Orleans all weekend. And I was like, wow, I just know people have told me they wait for those messages and they really love them. And so I did it. I mean, I heard very clearly what I was meant to say, but the service was bad. The lighting was bad. So thanks for still watching that video. And I appreciate y'all, but that's how you know I'm not doing this for ego reasons. I'm like actually just trying to help heal myself and everyone. So that's it. Thanks y'all for being so amazing. Thanks for trusting me. I have a few podcast interviews coming out soon, and when they come out, I'll link them. One is coming. I have two that haven't come out yet that I'm waiting on, and then I'm doing another kind of big one in the end of November. So I'll be sharing them if y'all want. And thanks again for your loving words. And I love y'all. Have a good week. Bye.